Welcome back to Learn BC. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're here to talk about items and how you copy an item. I'm now going into my item card, and from here we're going to look at an Athens desk. Now, there are 5 things that we want to think about setting up a new item and 3 subtables, so 8 in total, and then we're going to go on to things that aren't included. So let's start off. When you're bringing in a new product in, the first thing that you want to think about, if we're going to create a new series of this desk called 1897-S, it's the same look, it's the same attributes, a lot of the data is the same, and so why would I like to create a new item and spend 15 minutes on it when I could copy all of this and just renumber it? So the first thing is your identification. That's your item number and your name. We're going to have to change this when we copy it. The second thing here is the cost. The third thing here is the sale price, retail, full price. The fourth thing is the replenishment system. With that, maybe the vendor. The fifth thing is the reordering policy, and we advise all customers to make sure you've always got at a minimum order as your ordering policy, and do not use a blank reordering policy. And so from here, we've really covered all of the items on our item card. We're now going to look at, so that's the 5. Let's now look at the 3. Related, item, references, units of measure. Okay, so references and units of measure are related to each other. Let's start with units of measure as the first subtable. Unit of measure needs to be updated because the width, length, height may have changed, and the weight itself may change. How it's packaged may have changed. So it's important, firstly, as a subtable, that this will be considered. The second thing for us is item references. Now, against each unit of measure, we have a reference number for customers and vendors, and this could be filled out in your system, and if you copy it, you're going to create duplicates of references. So that's a problem, so we need to adjust that. Lastly, it's important to have related, purchase, vendor, and here you can see I've got vendor 3000, and that's the product number, and the new one that we've got is 1897-S, and the product code for it has just gone up 1 integer. It's a 949. All right, now the last thing that you need to consider that is not included in copying of an item comes down to your stock keeping units. So on this item, you can see here I have stock keeping units, which determines how replenishment and planning works in all of my warehouse locations, and whether I transfer or purchase or assemble or produce. Okay, so we've started, we've explained the 5 on the card, the 3 subs, and then the 1. So 5, 3, 1, 1 is the stock keeping unit. All right, let's now show you how to copy. There are 2 ways to copy an item. The first one here is under actions, functions, and copy item. The second is straight from the new menu that's available in February 2023 is copy item. It's the same function. Now, I've already put in here the target item number is now going to be 1897-S, and I have already enabled all of these. By default in your system, they will all be switched off. You've got to decide what you want to come over. So general information, units of measure, dimensions, that's all good. The picture, yes. I may not want to bring over comments. Might want to. Sales prices, sales discounts, purchase discounts. Item variants, translations, extended text, bill of materials, item vendors, attributes, and references. So that's a lot. Let's hit OK and see what happens. Now on the ribbon bar, we're going to see a notification. One of them was already here. I'm going to get rid of that. The one we're looking for is item has now been successfully copied. And if you click show item, it's going to pop up in front of you. Now this pops up as a smaller card, and I don't like this, so I'm going to escape out. I'm going to go back to here, and I can now see my new item. And it is duplicated. Let's go in, and we're going to rename it to version 2. That's step number 1. Step number 2, we go down to cost. The cost went up by $100. Step number 3, the retail price went up by $100. Step number 4, we're still purchasing this. It's still from vendor 3000. Step number 5, we're not changing reordering. We only buy it when we sell it. Okay, now for more information on reordering, points in using the fixed reorder or maximum quantities or lot for lot, please watch our tutorials where we have videos on this within YouTube. Okay, so the 5 we've dealt with. So that's on the card, deal with the 5. Now let's deal with the 3 on the related. First one, item, units of measure. Well, this is packaged a little bit differently. They decided to create a pack of 50, so they're a smaller box of 10. So subsequently, the weights and measures have changed. So I would update my height, width, length, and cubage, and my weight should automatically calculate from the new weight that we have, the weight that's on the card, based on the change, because it's the same table, they've just changed the packaging. So I'm not going to change the weight, it's not required. All right, let's now go to the 3. So the second of the 3 is the item reference. So this is going to be confusing for the system, so I need to change lots to be lots 1, table 2, table 1, here we go. And now you notice I'm changing this item code on the vendor. That's actually going to change it in my next screen because they're related. So I've fixed my item references. My warehouse management can scan this by 4 codes. Firstly is 1897-S. Secondly is lots 1 if it's this customer. Table 1 if it's this customer. And this code if it's this vendor. Okay, let's go back and let's do the third. The third is purchase vendors. And from purchase vendors, we have vendor 3000. We're keeping the vendor. You'll notice the number has gone up a digit because we changed it in the previous step. But we may want to add an extra vendor. We may want to have to change variants, whatever. Okay. So the item in principle was very quick to copy. It's single click and you're done, and you just change the name and description at a minimum and you're up and running. But we need to think about stock keeping because all of our clients have multiple locations. So stock keeping units are now blank. So we now need to re-add these, and we'll go in and re-add the stock keeping unit per location, for example, main, and main replenishes by purchase. I hit new, and we're going to add one for east as example, and I'm going to go down and we replenish this by transfer from main, and so on as you go through. So in principle, this is the process that you would have to follow. Okay, so let's go over it again. Do the 5 on the card, do the 3 in the related, then head to the 1, the stock keeping units. Thank you for your time.